Welcome to the Nature Cures podcast, where we uncover the secrets of natural healing, holistic wellness, and living your healthiest life naturally.
Sounds good.
Today,
Oh, yeah.
we're taking a deep dive into a subject that's often shrouded in misunderstanding. Depression.
Okay.
You know, that feeling of being weighed down,
Right.
of exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, and a sadness that just lingers.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to explore how tuning into nature might offer a path towards feeling better.
Yeah.
And to help us navigate this,
Right.
we have our expert with us, someone who really understands the link between our well-being and the natural world.
It's exciting to be here.
Oh, that's okay.
So many people think of depression as just a mental thing,
Right.
but it really involves our whole being,
Yeah.
body and mind.
Okay, so let's jump right in.
Here.
One thing that really caught my eye in the research was this connection between our adrenal glands and depression.
Okay.
Now, I know that might sound a bit out there, but apparently when those glands are overworked, it can really mess with our whole system.
Right.
What's the deal with that?
You've hit on a key point.
Okay.
Our adrenal glands are like our body's little stress managers,
Uh-huh.
pumping out hormones like cortisol to help us cope.
Okay.
But when we're constantly stressed, they get tired, and that can throw everything off balance, including our mood.
Right.
The fascinating part is that what we eat can directly affect how well our adrenal glands function.
Hold on. So you're saying that what I eat for lunch could actually impact my ability to handle stress?
Yes.
That's kind of mind-blowing.
It is.
Wow.
And it goes even deeper.
Okay.
You know how sometimes you feel sluggish
Yeah.
and maybe even a bit down after a big meal?
No.
Well, the research suggests that even something like gas buildup from digestion can affect how much oxygen gets to our brain.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Gas can impact my mood.
Yes.
That sounds a little crazy.
I know.
How does that even work?
Think of it this way. When we have too much gas, it puts pressure on our diaphragm, that big muscle we use to breathe.
Okay.
That pressure makes it harder for our lungs to fully expand,
Right.
meaning we're not getting as much oxygen.
Yeah.
And since our brain needs a constant supply of oxygen to function properly,
Yeah.
if it's not getting enough, our mood can take a hit.
Wow, that makes so much sense. It's like our body is this intricate web and every part is connected.
Yeah.
So what we eat affects our gut.
Right.
Our gut affects our breathing.
Uh-huh.
And our breathing affects our mood. It's
Yeah.
all linked together.
Exactly.
Oh.
And that brings us to the elephant in the room when it comes to mood, what we put on our plates.
Right.
The research is clear that our diet plays a huge role in how we feel,
Sure.
both physically and mentally.
Yeah, we've all experienced that sugar rush and crash.
Yeah.
Or felt sluggish after a greasy meal.
Right.
But I'm curious, what's the science behind this food-mood connection?
It all comes down to brain chemistry. Our brains rely on chemicals called neurotransmitters to send messages. And one of the most important for mood is serotonin.
Right.
Think of it as our feel-good chemical.
Okay.
And guess what?
What?
The building blocks for serotonin come from the nutrients in the food we eat.
So if I'm constantly eating junk food,
Yeah.
my brain might not be getting what it needs to make those feel-good chemicals.
Yeah,
No wonder I feel down sometimes.
that's exactly it.
Mm.
And the research highlights some specific dietary changes that can be really beneficial for folks struggling with low mood.
Okay, so let's get specific.
Sure.
What are some of the things we should be avoiding?
The usual suspects are on the list.
Okay.
Processed foods,
Uh-huh.
sugar, excessive caffeine, things that can spike your blood sugar and leave you feeling drained.
Right.
Also things like white flour products, artificial colors and flavors, strong condiments, and white rice.
Gotcha.
It's about ditching the processed and refined stuff.
So basically anything that comes in a brightly colored package with a long list of ingredients I can't pronounce.
Pretty much.
Got it. But what about the good stuff?
Right.
What should we be filling our plates with?
Here's where it gets exciting.
Okay.
Nature provides us with an abundance of mood-boosting foods.
Like?
Think vibrant fruits and vegetables,
Uh-huh.
whole grains, nuts, seeds,
Okay.
and things like eggs and fish.
Okay.
It's about eating a rainbow of colors and flavors.
So instead of that sugary coffee drink and donut,
Right.
I should be reaching for a plate of colorful veggies and some lean protein.
Exactly.
That actually sounds pretty good.
Good.
And you know what else helps me feel good?
What's that?
Getting my body moving.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
Exercise has been shown to be like a natural tranquilizer.
it really is.
Yeah.
I always feel so much lighter and brighter after a good workout.
Good.
But how does moving our bodies actually help with something like depression?
Well, when we exercise, our brains release endorphins, which are natural painkillers and mood boosters.
Uh-huh, so that's why I feel so good after a run.
Makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it doesn't have to be intense exercise, right?
No.
Even a walk in nature can boost your mood.
Exactly. It's about finding something you enjoy and that you can stick with.
Right.
And speaking of gentle movement,
Yeah.
the research also mentions yoga as being particularly helpful for managing low mood. There are certain poses and breathing exercises that can have a profound effect.
That's right.
Oh, I love yoga. It's like a moving meditation.
Right.
What are some of those poses and breathing exercises? I'm always up for trying something new.
Well, they mention poses like Vakrasana,
Okay.
which is a twist that helps energy flow,
Uh-huh.
Bhujangasana, which is a back bend that opens up your chest,
Mm-hmm.
and Shavasana, which is a relaxation pose that promotes deep relaxation.
Wait, hold on. You lost me at Vakrasana.
Oh.
Can you break that down for me?
Well,
What does twisting my body actually do?
imagine this. You're twisting your spine from side to side,
Okay.
gently massaging your internal organs and promoting circulation.
Right.
It's like wringing out a sponge, releasing tension and allowing fresh energy to flow through.
Oh, I get it. It's not just about the physical shape of the pose.
Right.
It's about the internal effects.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Right.
And what about the breathing exercises? You mentioned those two.
They specifically mention pranayama,
Okay.
which is the practice of controlling your breath.
Mm-hmm.
There are different techniques like Kapalbhati,
Okay.
which is a rapid breathing exercise that energizes the body,
Mm-hmm.
and Anuloma Viloma,
Right.
which is alternate nostril breathing that balances the nervous system.
Wow. I've heard of alternate nostril breathing, but I've never tried it.
Really?
Yeah. It sounds a little intense.
Yeah.
Is it hard to do?
Not at all. It's actually very simple.
Okay.
You just close one nostril and inhale,
Uh-huh.
then close the other nostril and exhale,
Right.
and keep alternating. It's a great way to calm your mind and reduce stress.
That's so cool. I'm definitely going to try that.
Yeah, you should.
You know, it seems like a lot of these practices are about calming our nervous systems
Mm-hmm.
and finding a sense of balance.
Right.
It's like giving our minds and bodies a much-needed break from the constant stimulation of modern life.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to another powerful tool for managing depression,
Okay.
relaxation and meditation.
Absolutely.
When we're constantly on the go,
Yeah.
our bodies go into fight or flight mode,
Right.
pumping out stress hormones.
Uh-huh.
Relaxation techniques like the Shavasana pose
Yeah.
help to counteract that signaling to our bodies that it's okay to relax and let go.
Exactly.
It's like hitting the reset button on our nervous systems,
They
right?
like that.
And meditation takes that even further,
Yes.
helping us to quiet the constant chatter in our mind.
Exact.
Meditation is about learning to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment,
Right?
creating space between ourselves and our reactions.
Mhm.
It's like training our minds to become less reactive and more responsive.
That's a good way to put it.
That sounds incredibly powerful,
Okay.
especially for managing negative thought patterns that often come with feeling depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to learn more about how to actually meditate.
Okay.
Could you walk us through a simple practice?
Of course.
Okay.
The beauty of meditation is that it's incredibly simple,
Yeah.
yet so profound.
Right.
Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed.
Okay.
You can sit comfortably on the floor or in a chair
Uh-huh.
with your spine straight but not stiff.
Okay.
Close your eyes and gently turn your attention inward.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Close my eyes, turn inward.
Yeah.
Now what?
You need to choose a focal point for your attention.
Oh.
It could be your breath,
Mhm.
a mantra, a repeated word or phrase,
Right.
or even a peaceful image you create in your mind.
So I could just focus on the feeling of my breath going in and out.
Yes.
That sounds doable. But what if my mind starts to wander? I'm kind of a chronic overthinker.
That's completely normal.
Is it?
The mind is like a mischievous monkey,
Okay.
always swinging from one thought to the next.
Yeah.
The key is to not get frustrated when your mind wanders.
Okay.
Simply notice the thought, acknowledge it, and gently guide your attention back to your chosen focal point.
It's like gently redirecting that mischievous monkey back to its perch.
Exactly.
I like that analogy.
Good.
But honestly, meditation sounds like a lot of work.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Well, what's the point of all this focus on the breath or a mantra?
It's not about emptying your mind completely.
Okay.
That's almost impossible.
Right?
It's about training your mind to become more aware of your thoughts
Uh-huh.
without getting carried away by them.
So instead of being caught up in a whirlwind of thoughts and anxieties, I can learn to observe them from a distance, like watching clouds drift by.
Exactly.
That's a really interesting concept.
And the more you practice, the easier it becomes.
Okay.
It's like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
So even a few minutes of meditation each day could make a difference.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Even 5 or 10 minutes of dedicated quiet time
Yeah.
can have a profound effect on your mental and emotional well-being.
You know what's really striking me about all of this? Is that it's not about relying on external fixes or quick solutions.
Right.
It's about taking an active role in our own well-being,
Exactly.
tapping into the power that already exists within us and in the natural world around us.
You've hit the nail on the head.
It's about recognizing that we're not just passive recipients of our health and well-being,
Yeah.
but active participants in our own healing journey.
I love that.
It's about empowering ourselves to make choices that support our physical and mental well-being.
Yes.
And it's about rediscovering the simple yet profound connection between our bodies, our minds, and the natural world.
And the amazing part is that nature is always there ready to support us. All we have to do is open ourselves to its wisdom and its healing power.
Beautifully said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already, from the surprising connection between our adrenal glands, digestion, and mood, to the power of diet, exercise, yoga, and meditation.
It's a lot.
It's like we're starting to piece together a holistic puzzle of well-being.
And this is just the beginning.
Right.
There's so much more to explore in terms of how we can harness the power of nature to support our mental and emotional health.
I'm excited to keep diving in.
Me too.
But for now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our exploration of natural approaches to managing depression.
Sounds good. You know, one thing that really fascinates me is this idea that we're not separate from nature,
Right.
but rather a part of it.
You know, I've been thinking about that too. It's so easy to get caught up in the daily grind and forget that we're actually part of this incredible web of life.
Yeah.
But when you really stop and think about it, it makes so much sense. Our bodies are literally made up of the same elements that make up the earth, the air, the water.
Exactly. And when we disconnect from nature, we disconnect from a part of ourselves. It's like we're missing a vital piece of the puzzle.
I totally agree. I always feel so much more grounded and at peace after spending time outdoors.
Yeah.
Whether it's hiking in the woods, swimming in the ocean, or even just sitting in my backyard and listening to the birds sing.
There's actually science to back that up.
Oh, really?
Studies have shown that spending time in nature can lower our stress hormones,
Okay.
reduce blood pressure, and improve our mood.
So it's not just about feeling good.
Right.
It's actually good for our health.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard to make time for nature,
Yeah,
especially with our busy lives.
I know that.
What are some simple ways we can incorporate more nature into our daily routines?
Even small things can make a big difference.
Okay.
Try taking a walk in a park during your lunch break,
Mm-hmm.
having your morning coffee on your porch, or even just bringing some plants into your home or office.
I love that. It's about finding those little moments of connection throughout the day. It's like a mini dose of nature therapy. And you know what else I found helpful?
What?
Paying attention to the natural rhythms of my body.
Okay.
Like when I'm tired, I rest.
Right.
When I'm hungry, I eat.
Uh-huh.
It sounds so simple, but it's amazing how often we ignore those basic cues.
That's a really powerful point. We live in a culture that often encourages us to push through,
Right.
to ignore our body's signals.
Yeah.
But when we learn to listen to those signals and honor them, we can start to tap into a deeper wisdom that guides us towards what we truly need.
It's like we have this internal compass that's always pointing us in the right direction.
Right.
But we've gotten so used to relying on external maps and GPS systems that we've forgotten how to trust our own intuition.
Exactly. And that intuition is connected to nature.
How so?
Think about the cycles of the day and night, the
Yeah.
changing seasons.
Hmm.
Our bodies are designed to flow with those rhythms. When we resist those natural cycles, we create dissonance, which can manifest as stress, anxiety, and even depression.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's like we're trying to swim upstream instead of going with the flow.
Okay.
So what can we do to get back in sync with those natural rhythms?
One simple thing is to create a regular sleep-wake cycle.
Okay.
Go to bed and wake up around the same time each day,
Yeah.
even on weekends.
Okay. That's doable. What else?
Try eating your meals at regular intervals and pay attention to your body's hunger and fullness cues.
So no more mindless snacking in front of the TV. I can do that.
Good.
What else?
And make time for movement and exercise, but listen to your body and don't push yourself too hard.
Hmm.
Remember, it's about finding a sustainable rhythm that works for you.
I love that. It's about finding that sweet spot between honoring our body's needs and challenging ourselves to grow and evolve.
And speaking of growth and evolution, one thing that's really resonating with me from all this research is the idea that healing is a journey,
Hmm.
not a destination. That's a beautiful way to put it. It's so easy to get caught up in the idea that there's some magical endpoint
Yeah.
where we'll finally feel happy and whole. But the truth is, healing is an ongoing process,
Right.
full of ups and downs,
Yeah.
twists and turns.
And that's okay. It's about embracing the journey with all its imperfections and challenges.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I think that's actually a really empowering message
Okay.
because it means that no matter where we are on our journey, no matter how lost or stuck we might feel,
Yeah.
we always have the power to choose a different path, to take a step in a new direction.
I couldn't agree more. And it's about being kind to ourselves along the way. We're all doing the best we can with what we have.
Hmm.
And sometimes the best thing we can do is to simply acknowledge where we are, accept ourselves fully, and then take that next step forward, even if it's just a baby step.
That's such a beautiful reminder.
Yeah.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Ah.
And it's about celebrating the small victories along the way.
Yeah.
Those moments of clarity, those glimpses of hope, those times when we feel a little bit lighter, a
Right.
little bit brighter.
And it's about remembering that we're not alone on this journey. We all have our own unique struggles, but we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And there's so much strength and support to be found in connecting with others who understand what we're going through.
Absolutely. And, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that this whole conversation had been so incredibly insightful and inspiring.
Right.
I feel like I'm starting to see depression in a whole new light,
Good.
not as something to be feared or ashamed of,
Right.
but as an opportunity for growth,
Yeah.
for healing, for transformation.
That's exactly what I hope people take away from this conversation. Depression can be a very isolating and debilitating experience, but it doesn't have to define us. There are so many natural tools and resources available to help us navigate these challenges and reclaim our power.
And it all starts with that first step,
Uh-huh.
with that decision to choose a different path,
Yeah.
to reach out for support, to start listening to our bodies and our hearts.
And to remember that we are not broken.
Right.
We are whole and complete, even in our imperfections.
Yeah.
And within each of us lies the innate capacity for healing and transformation.
Beautifully said. I think that's the perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up completely,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought-provoking question.
Okay, go ahead.
What is one small change you can make today to nourish your body and mind naturally? It could be something as simple as taking a walk in nature, trying a new healthy recipe, or even just taking a few deep breaths to calm your nervous system. Every small step counts,
Right.
and every act of self-care is a step towards greater well-being.
And remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and insights with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an honor and a privilege to learn from you.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into natural approaches to managing depression. We hope you found this conversation informative, inspiring, and empowering.
Me too.
Remember, you are not alone on this journey.
That's right.
There is hope, there is healing, and there is a world of natural wonders waiting to support you.
Absolutely.
As we wrap up this deep dive into natural approaches for managing depression, I can't help but feel a sense of hope. There's so much we can do to take control of our well-being, and it all starts with that connection to nature.
Absolutely. It's like rediscovering a forgotten language, the language of our bodies, our hearts, and the natural world around us.
And one thing that's really struck me throughout this conversation is the power of simplicity. We don't need complicated solutions or extensive treatments. Sometimes the most profound shifts come from the simplest acts of self-care.
I completely agree. It's like remembering that we already have everything we need within us to heal and thrive. It's just about tapping into that innate wisdom and allowing it to guide us.
And that wisdom is reflected in nature, isn't it?
Oh.
The cycles of the seasons, the ebb and flow of the tides, the resilience of the natural world. It's all a reminder that even in the darkest times, there's always a new beginning, a new opportunity for growth and renewal.
Beautifully said. And that's why it's so important to cultivate that connection with nature, to spend time outdoors, to breathe fresh air, to feel the sun on our skin, to listen to the birds sing. These simple acts can have a profound impact on our mood and well-being.
And, as we've been talking about all these natural approaches, diet, exercise, yoga, meditation, connecting with nature, I've realized that it's not about finding a one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding what works for you, what resonates with your unique needs and preferences.
That's such a key point. We're all individuals, and what works for one person might not work for another. It's about experimenting, trying different things, and listening to your body's wisdom. What feels good? What brings you joy? What helps you feel more grounded and at peace?
It's like becoming your own inner scientist, exploring and discovering what nourishes your body and mind. And it's about being curious, compassionate and patient with yourself along the way.
Absolutely. There's no need to judge yourself or compare yourself to others. It's about honoring your own unique journey and celebrating every step you take towards greater well-being.
And speaking of celebrating, I think it's important to acknowledge the power of gratitude. When we focus on the good things in our lives, even the small things, it shifts our perspective and helps us to feel more content and joyful.
Gratitude is such a powerful practice. It helps us to appreciate the present moment and to cultivate a sense of abundance even amidst challenges. And, even the challenges themselves can be opportunities for growth and learning.
That's such a wise perspective. It's about reframing our experiences, seeing the obstacles as stepping stones on our path to wholeness. And as we're wrapping up this conversation, I can't help but feel a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to share this information with our listeners.
It's been a privilege to join you on this deep dive, and I hope our listeners have found this conversation helpful and inspiring.
And remember, if you're struggling with depression, you are not alone. There are resources available to support you, and there is hope for healing and recovery. Reach out to a trusted friend or family member, seek professional guidance, and remember that there's a whole community of people who care about you and want to see you thrive.
And don't forget the power of nature. Step outside, breathe deep, and reconnect with the source of all life and healing.
Beautifully said. Thank you again for sharing your wisdom with us today. It's been a true pleasure learning from you.
Thank you for having me. It's always inspiring to share this information and to empower people to take control of their health and well-being.
And to our amazing listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and tools that you can start incorporating into your own lives. Remember, even small changes can make a big difference. Keep exploring the world of natural healing and keep listening to that inner wisdom that guides you towards a life of wholeness and vitality. Until next time, take care and be well.